Thank you so much for being here with me today for this chair yoga practice. All the movements that I suggest are suggestions. So please make sure you take care of yourself throughout the practice. You are the expert on your own body. So all the movements I make are suggestions that you will need to decide whether you would like to participate in or not. Some helpful pieces that can come with your practice are blocks like my feet are on, or some way of elevating your feet if they're not quite flush with the floor, you don't feel quite grounded. That's available to you. You could also grab a dish towel or some kind of a small, hand towel so that you can do things like use it to pick up your legs. If that assists if that makes the moves more accessible for you, that's an option. Or a yoga strap, if you have one of those, that could work. Make sure you have about the space of an arm's length to move. Clear that space for yourself. Even if you're yogaing with a friend, you can high five them, but like at arm's distance. Yeah, and we're going to get started here. Again, thank you so much for being here. We're going to become grounded in the present moment through mindful breath. So we'll go ahead and just take a moment to have the eyes downcast, become centered in the moment, and prepare for the practice. If you'd like to set an intention for this practice today, feel free to do so. I'll be cueing you to kind of tune back in with that intention throughout the practice if you'd like to. If not, that's totally fine too. So just go ahead and check in with the breath here. Noticing where you're breathing in your body. So is it coming from the chest or from deeper down in the belly and the diaphragm area? Just kind of notice where your breath is showing up right now. And throughout the practice, we're going to be trying to deepen the breath, smooth out the breath in most of the practice. Trying to get into those belly breaths, bringing oxygen to the brain, cleansing the body and the mind, letting go of anything you don't need and sealing in the energy that you do. All right, we're going to start our practice today focusing at first on the feet. So let's go ahead and lift the heels and then set them down. We're getting into the ball mound of the foot here. If you'd like greater intensity, you can start to scoot forward in your chair a little bit, and that's going to allow you to come a little further into the toes and into the ball mound of the foot. And you can start to lean into that as well. Noticing where you can. Bring in the breath. So move one breath, one movement, if that's an option for you right now. And just throughout the practice, be noticing whether you can move one breath, one movement at your own pace. Doesn't have to match mine. And we'll do two more here. All right, then we're going to start to take the ankles and the heels around. So doing some little circles supported by the ball mounds of the feet, maybe getting a little more into the toes here. Making any adjustments that you need to. If you don't have water close by, making sure you stay hydrated, if not throughout the practice, but after and hopefully before too. Taking this opportunity for self-care. You deserve it. And let's take these heels around in the other direction. A couple more times around here, checking with the breath. All right, nice work. All right, so we're gonna be pointing and flexing. Doesn't matter which foot you start with, we're gonna do both. So pointing and flexing. So notice how you can exaggerate this movement. Um, you know, how far can you point? How much can you flex? See if you can find your edge of challenging discomfort but not pain. And we're going to switch here. So other side, pointing and flexing. Maybe noticing some sensations along the top of the foot and then the back of the leg. All right, a couple more here. And then you can bring it back. Both feet meet. And then we're gonna start lifting up the leg so we can rotate and get into the hip a little bit. So if you have that dish towel handy, this might be where you wanna thread it under the thigh and use it to lift if that's a good choice. Otherwise, you can just use your hands, interlacing your fingers. We're gonna do both legs, so it doesn't matter which one you start with. And we'll go around. Getting into that hip flexor and breathing into that. Using the breath to access areas of the body and to open. A couple more times around here. All right, and as you're ready, take it the other way. A couple more times. And then we'll switch sides. So as you're ready, interlacing under the other thigh, picking up that leg or using your dish towel and doing some circles here. Checking in with that breath. Your pace may not match mine. That's fine. You're doing your own pace here. A few more times. And let's reverse, go the other way. A few more times here. Nice work, everybody. And let's go ahead and set that foot down and just check in with the breath here. Maybe checking with an intention if you set one at the beginning of class today. And smoothing out the breath if it needs to be. From here, we're going to go ahead and reach to the other side, interlacing the hands again and lifting, bringing the thigh into the body here. So if this isn't accessible to you or you prefer to just keep doing that rotation, that's fine. From here, we're going to do something that will be available to some of us and not to all of us. So some of us will keep our leg in towards our body here. Others who want to try the full expression with the leg extended can have an opportunity to try that, either with your hands continuing to be interlaced and supporting your leg, or they could be released if you really want to go all the way into that sensation. So I'm going to go ahead and show you both of those levels. So here's an extension that's supported, right, with the hands under the leg and a flexed foot. If you need more here, release the hands and engage the core. You want to maintain that spinal alignment for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently fold it in and bring it down. All right, and we'll try the other side. What happens on one side may be different from one side to the other. So don't let that distract you. You could just notice those differences, but they're not necessarily going to be the same from side to side. So go ahead and reach for the other leg, pull it in, hug it in, send some love to the thighs, right? Bring it in towards the body. Some of us will stay here. Others of us will want to try the either supported extension or the full expression where you're letting the hands go completely. So if you'd like to try the extension, supported or otherwise, go ahead and extend. And then if you'd like to try releasing the hands, make sure you're engaging the core and keeping the spine in alignment for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set it down. And then just go ahead and notice anything here. Make any movements, make any adjustments that you need to. Notice any sensations and smooth out the breath. All right, from here we're going to start rotating the upper body, so hands can be on the thighs as you start to make your way around. Checking in with the breath here, seeing if you can move in that one breath, one movement. You may find a natural place to inhale and exhale here. We'll do 2 more rotations. Your pace doesn't need to match mine. As you're ready, reverse and go the other way. And we'll do 2 more here. All right, now let's go ahead and come back up. Now we're going to do I'm going to spread my blocks apart, and I'm going to have my feet come about a little wider than hips width. And we're going to start doing some cat-cow, and we'll start kind of, I don't want to say conservative cat-cow, but a cat-cow that isn't a full expression that will work our way into a fuller expression as we move along. So any point along the journey that you would like to hang into or, work into, that's great. And if you'd like to take it further, okay? And I'll show you that full expression. I'll take it step by step. So from here, we're just gonna have the shoulder blades come towards each other and then away from each other. So you're kind of leaning in, chest out, and then moving backward with the shoulder blades coming across the back. You move chest out, and then we cave in, and the belly button comes in towards the spine. And as you can probably see, I'm getting more full in my expression, right? So it's a trajectory here. So you can stay anywhere along that path. Make sure you're doing what's a good choice for your body today. You do not have to follow exactly what I'm doing. You make the movement work for you. So as I become fuller and fuller into the expression, I'm going to start to calm down, which is why my knees are wide and my feet are wide here, to make space for that. And then lastly, if you're following this kind of wave, you'll want to start to release the neck down and have the head be the last thing to come up as you stack the vertebrae one on top of another. And breathing in and out here, connecting with the breath. We'll do a few more here. Full exaggeration, if that's a good choice for you today. That's what I'm going to demonstrate here. And last time, really let your head hang, and then see how slowly you can roll up. One vertebrae stacking at a time. with the head being the last thing to come up. And then check in with that breath here. Smooth that out. Noticing any sensations in the body, any differences from the beginning of practice to now. All right. And we're going to move again from a smaller movement to a larger movement along a progression. So wherever you want to be in that progression is great. It's a good choice for your body today. So we're going to bring the arms out. We're going to start with our small circles, right? So noticing any sensations here. And we'll slowly start to make those circles bigger and maybe a little slower and more intentional as we really open up here. Continuing to breathe. Moving with intention. At whatever expression of the movement that works for you. We'll do a few more this direction and then we'll switch directions. Here's our last two, last one. All right, and we're gonna take it the other way in a large movement and work our way back towards that smaller movement here. So I'm bringing it in a little bit smaller here, making my circles a little bit more confined. Really noticing some sensations in the biceps and in the back, building strength, moving with intention, moving with my breath. And we'll finish up those circles here, tight little circles. And let's bring the hands in the heart center and check in with the breath, check in with the intention. Repeat that one. Noticing any sensations here. Allowing the shoulders to come down the back. We're going to work into the shoulders here a little bit to create some opening and relaxation. So go ahead and bring the hands onto the shoulders. And we're going to do elbows touch and wrist touch. Making our way around in a circle here at whatever pace feels right to you. The elbows touching and the wrist touching is a destination, but the journey is important. So your elbow and your wrist may not touch, and that's totally fine. Let's do a few more this direction, and then we'll switch directions. So elbows to wrist, elbow to wrist. Last time, elbow to wrist, and then we're going to do wrist to elbows, wrist to elbows, wrist to elbows, wrist to elbows. Let's do two more, wrist to elbows and wrist to elbows. Nice job. And rest. Catch the breath, smooth out the breath. Notice the breath. Noticing any sensations in the body. All right, and from here we're going to do we've done a little bit of expansion. Now we're going to do some compression. So if your feet are still wide, bring them in. A couple different ways to do eagle here and seated chair. So if you can cross your legs and that's available to you, that's one way to do eagle. You can also do eagle with your legs just like this. So decide wherever you want to land on that trajectory. I'm going to show you the cross-legged version. So I'm going to bring my right leg over my left. If you'd like to tuck the toes behind the leg, and that's a good choice for you today, you can also do that to get that really tight bind here. All right, and so now I'm going to extend my arms, and my right is going to go under my left. I'm going to bring it around. If the full bind is too much for you, you can just touch your shoulders, kind of like you're giving yourself a cross-arm hug. If you can, come into the full bind, and that's a good choice for you today. And go ahead and touch your palms together. And from here, you're probably noticing the breath now if you weren't before. Go ahead and bring your arms down towards your thighs with your shoulder blades coming across your back. Again, all of these are options. You can stop anywhere along this trajectory. Try to bring the body in to compression here and breathe. We'll hold for a few breaths and then we'll unwind. 3, 2, and 1. Let it all go. Open, unwind, and check in. Nice job, everybody. Go ahead and notice any sensations here. Check in with the breath. Smooth it out. And then we'll try the other side, remembering that one side may be totally different than the other. So that is normal. So we'll put the left leg on top this time. If you'd like to do that extra tuck, you can do it manually or not at all. All right, from here we extend the arms and the left arm is gonna come underneath. Palms can touch or hands can go to shoulders, either way. And y'all can stay here. This is a good place. If you'd like to try like a fuller compression, you can start to bend down with your forearms resting on your thighs, with your shoulder blades coming across your back, and squeeze into this pose for a few moments. Here's 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and unwind. Open expression here. And bring it into a resting pose here. Checking in with the breath. All right, and from here we're gonna widen the stance a little bit. And we're gonna come into the shoulders and arms some more here. All right, so let's lift the left arm and reach. We want to keep the shoulder in the socket, so don't reach so that your shoulder's out of the socket. You want to plug it back in as you reach. And then we're going to start to lean, engaging the abdominals on the left side, and then start to twist and look up if that's a good choice for you today. Left hand comes down, right arm reaches. Plugging the shoulder back into the shoulder blade if it comes out. Start to lean here. And then you can do a gentle twist. And the hand comes down and we start to move in a flow. So lift, lean with engagement in the abdominals. Twist and let it go. Reach. Lift the body. Lean. Engage the core. And turn. So this should be a sensation that you notice, right? When we engage the core, we will be able to feel that. So that could be in the center of the body that you're feeling that, or you could be feeling it, and you could be feeling it, I should say, along the side body here. So as we lift, that's kind of our engage, right? And then as we lean, we start to feel it on the side. And then as we open, that's when we feel it all firing together. So let's try a few more of those in a flow, noticing your breath here, noticing any abdominal engagement. Finding that one breath, one movement, and that intentional movement. So this is very intentional, very focused, kind of subtle movement. And everybody might be going at a slightly different pace, and that is totally fine. So let's do 2 more on each side here. Lift and lengthen, lean and twist. One more on each side. All right, and we'll come to rest for a moment. Noticing the breath here, smoothing anything out, making any adjustments in the body, noticing any sensations. All right, and from here we're going to do some circles with the arms and in making a circle. So go ahead and make that circle and interlace the fingers here and start to make a little twist. So twisting from the center of the body, notice your abdominal engagement here. This should be firing those abdominal muscles that you just kind of woke up. So moving with intention here, not twisting too far. Noticing the oblique muscles, which are the abdominal muscles that run along the sides of the body. All right, and from here, we're gonna bring our hands up and our circle up, and we're gonna start to lean from one side to the other. So again, noticing the abdominal engagement, the oblique engagement, leaning into that. And then we're gonna take our circle all the way around. So we'll bring it down and around and back up. Nice work, everyone. We'll take it one more time here around this way. Maintaining stability, maintaining breath, and maintaining good form. We'll take it around the other way as you're ready. Lots of good things happening here with this movement. And we've got two more here. Stay with it, last one. Nice job. And release those arms as you're ready. Come to that resting pose and check in. Smoothing out the breath. Connecting with that intention if you set one for today. Or just noticing any sensations that the body may be experiencing here. From here, we're going to get into the neck a little bit to find some, we've kind of built up a little bit of strength and maybe a little bit of tension in the shoulder area. We're going to start to do some release of that tension through releasing the neck. So as you're ready, go ahead and put the right ear towards the right shoulder and allow that left shoulder to sink down. Feel free to close your eyes here and just really breathe into that sensation. Relaxing the left shoulder down, right ear towards the right shoulder, allowing that right shoulder to also release. If you'd like to extend the left arm and make some little circles here, that's an option. And bring that circle the other way if you're doing it, those little circles. Left hand comes back to the left thigh. Right hand comes gently on top of the head. Breathing into that sensation here, maybe an additional little opening as the right ear comes slightly further towards the right shoulder. Very gentle, subtle movement here. Breathing. And then go ahead and use that right hand on the right temple to gently press the head back into alignment. Check in with the breath and with any sensations here. Noticing where the breath is occurring in the body. Can you bring that deep belly breath into your practice today? As you're ready, the left ear tilts down towards the left shoulder, and breathing here, maybe closing the eyes. The right shoulder is also sinking down here. We can extend the right hand and start to do those small circles. Noticing each sensation as you make this very subtle movement. You can go ahead and take those circles the other direction here. And as you're ready, bring that right hand back to the right thigh. The head stays there. Left hand on top of the left head, on top of the left side of the head. Gently applying the tiniest amount of pressure, only the pressure that is your hand resting on the head here. And noticing if you can find any more lengthening along the neck, down into the right shoulder. And then go ahead and use the left hand at the left temple to gently press the head back to center and breathe. Noticing any sensations here. From here, let's bring the chin down towards the chest. And then really slowly finding your own pace, bringing the head around in a gentle circle. If any of this feels like too much, the chin can just rest on the chest. Circles aren't necessary. We'll do one more here. And we'll take it the other direction at your own pace, if it's a good choice for you today. One more time around here. All right, and then we're going to bring head into alignment. And we're going to try bringing everything down and allowing the hands to rest either on the floor or with intention going towards the floor. So we're going to do a deep bend, kind of like the cat-cow we did earlier, but we're going to hold it. So go ahead and widen the stance here. We're going to bring everything down. My hands are going to touch on the floor, and I'm going to allow gravity to allow my neck to really release. Okay, so if that's not available to you, if you have something that's not as low down, you can always bring your hands to that and then fold down from there and get as much neck release as you can. The full expression would be hands to the floor and neck and back fully released. So find anywhere along that trajectory that works for you and allow the neck here to really let go. Breathing deeply, good place to check in with those belly breaths. From here, we're going to try nodding the head. So go ahead and try nodding the head, yes. Nod the head, yes, and then nod the head, no. If it's available to you, go ahead and reach your hands towards your elbows and grasp your elbows in your hands. So making a little cradle with your hands reaching for your elbows. Neck is fully released here. Start to sway the body. So the neck is letting go, the back is released, upper body is relaxed. Moving back and forth with a little sway here. Knees are wide, feet are wide. Remembering to breathe. Bring the hands back down to the floor or to wherever you found as your resting point. Press into the hands and allow the neck to release. And then you can walk your way back up, one vertebrae at a time. So if you need to reach for your ankles to help walk yourself back up, you can slowly use the leg, step by step, not putting any pressure directly onto the knee, gently, slowly, coming back up one vertebrae at a time. See how slow you can go. Can you really stack one at a time with the head being the last thing to come up? Nice work. All right, so the feet are coming back to about hips width here, checking in with the breath. You might want to scoot forward a little bit for this one. All right, and again, this movement might not work for everyone, so find the movement that works for you. Make good choices for your body today. So we're going to try to do a four-legged stretch here, a figure four stretch, not four-legged, figure four. There we go. All right, so if you can, put your left ankle on top of your right thigh with your foot flexed. If you need to pick up your foot and set it there, that's totally fine. What we don't want to see is the sickling of the foot. So make that strong flex here. You can always add like a little padding under the leg if you need to, if that ankle is digging into the thigh. So for some of us, this is right where we need to be, and we can lean forward into this and breathe into this. If you still need more sensation here, bring yourself and your upper body further down, moving really into the left hip here. And if you need even more, let the neck go. Press the chest into the left calf. And then we'll go ahead and bring it back up. Probably a pretty intense sensation for many of us here. If you'd like to try rocking the baby, put the foot in the arms and make a little rocking motion, really getting deep into the hip there. And then as we're ready, we'll hug it in. Thank our thighs, our legs, showing gratitude, bringing love into that area of the body. And then we'll slowly set it down gently. And try the other side. One side might be different than the other. That is normal. So go ahead and do that figure four on the other side. Again, if you have to pick up your foot and place it there. If this is something you're working towards, it can be like, wow, that's something I'm going to try next time or in a few weeks, or something I'm going to try on my own. Wherever you're at with it, it's just a suggestion, an option. Okay. We do want the foot to be flexed here. If the ankle is digging into the thigh, you can make adjustments by adding like extra padding. That dish towel can really come in handy for multiple things. If you'd like to increase the sensation after you've made this figure four, you can start to lean the chest forward, breathing into that right hip flexor. If you need more, again, pressing the chest into the shin and the calf on the right leg. And then bringing it back up. Bringing the leg in towards the body. So bringing the hands under the knee. Bringing the leg in, sending love into that leg, and then slowly setting it back down and checking in here. From here, we're going to do some simple twists. You could add a cross leg if you'd like to. I'm going to demonstrate it without the legs crossed, but you really could do it either way. It depends how much intensity you want. A little more intense with the cross-legged. All right, so I'm going to bring my right hand onto my left thigh. My left hand is going to come and reach behind me on the chair, and I'm going to do a gentle twist looking behind me. And then I'm going to bring it back around, counter twist the other way. So now my left hand is on my right thigh. My right hand is reaching for the back of the chair, twisting in this direction. And then bringing it back to center. Excuse me. Good time to cue the water break, right? Take a sip if you have some hydration there for you. All right, definitely important to stay hydrated during the practice, throughout, and after. From here, we're going to be transitioning into some of our strength poses, our warrior poses. So I'm going to kind of be moving stuff out of the way so that I have a little bit more space here. All right, coming forward in your chairs. We're going to do some supported lunging, or you always have that option to come off the chair in these poses. So totally up to you. And I'll show you different places along that trajectory. So I'm going to do my right side first. I'm going to turn to the right, and I'm going to show you a lunge. This is like the first bus stop along the path. And if you want to go ahead and extend that back leg fully, tucking those toes and staying seated, then that's an option for you. If you want to do the full expression of the low lunge, you can lift off the chair, knowing that your chair is right there by you, okay? So from here, I'm going to go ahead and use the chair as the support. We're going to lift the arms either to goal post or to fully extended. If the fully extended does not feel like a good choice for you, you can always go back to the goal post. Either way, we're building arm strength, and either way, it's a warrior one. So either arms at goal post or arms, biceps by the ears, looking over the right leg, and the right knee and ankle should be in alignment. So you should not see your knee going over your toes. For warrior one, we start to lean back just slightly here, working on that abdominal engagement. You'll also probably feel some sensations in the left upper thigh area. And then the arms can come to reach to either side, which is our warrior two. So extending out so that you're reaching both directions, looking out over the right fingers. This is warrior two. From here, we transition to reverse warrior. Left hand comes down to the left thigh. Right arm extends upward, and we start to lean back just slightly. Remember, using that core here, we want to protect the lower back. Breathing. From here, we transition back to warrior two. So arms extended. And then the left arm sweeps to meet the right. Both arms come back either to goal posts or biceps by the ears, and we're back to warrior one. From warrior one, remembering to breathe through these transitions and through all of it, we're going to take a goddess pose. So coming to face the front, knees are wide, goal post arms, all right? And this is a nice place to go ahead if you'd like to try to come up off the seat if that's available to you today. That's a really, that's a squat pose, so it's more solid than some of the other poses. Doesn't require as much balance. You always have your seat right there if you need it, okay? All right, and from goddess, moving to the left side, So coming into that lunge with the left leg forward, we can bring arms to goalposts or biceps to the ears here in warrior one. That back knee can be bent or extended in the full expression of the low lunge. Breathing here and starting to open the chest slightly by leaning back. From here, coming into warrior two, arms open up to either side. We're looking out over the left fingertips. Breathing. Right hand comes towards the back of the right thigh. Left arm lifts. Start to open here, engaging the abdominal. Breathing. This is reverse warrior. And then back to warrior two. Left arm extended out to the front. Right arm comes out behind you. Looking over the left fingertips, breathing. And from here, right arm sweeps to meet the left. Arms come up either to goalposts or biceps by the ears. Warrior one, open, okay? Add that little subtle opening that's gonna engage the abdominals, and maybe you'll feel some sensation in the right upper thigh area. Breathing. From here, we're going to transition through to goddess one more time. If you're shaking, you're building muscle, okay? Don't take it too far, but this challenging discomfort can build some strength. So you know yourself, you're the expert, right? If you'd like to come up off the chair a little bit in this squat, that might be an option for some. And then for everyone, we'll sit it back down, close it in a little bit, and check in with the breath. So nice work. If you set that intention for class today, checking in there, smoothing out the breath. If you need to grab another sip of water, this is a good time for it. And then from here, we're going to be getting into our progressive relaxation technique. So for progressive relaxation, we're going to be bringing tension into certain areas of the body and then releasing it. So I'll cue you to tense and release. And when you tense, you really want to try to fully engage that part of the body. And when you release, you want to try to really release. So really let it go. So the idea here is that you're going to be kind of mentally thinking about different parts of the body as you engage and then disengage with those parts of the body. So that can help in all kinds of meditation, because some meditation techniques have you doing body scans and have you focusing on sensations in different areas of the body. So this is one type of meditation called progressive relaxation meditation technique. It's very active, so it may not feel like meditating, right? Some of us don't do the meditation part because it's not active enough. So there is kind of a midway point with this. All right, or a compromise, right? Okay, so I'm going to scoot back a little bit, and I am going to cue you first for the lower body. So let's go ahead, and you can either point or flex. For some of us, pointing brings like cramps. If it's not comfortable for you, then do a flex. It's really either one works, point or flex. So I'm going to do a flex. We're going to flex the entire legs, and I'm going to have you scan as you flex to really make sure you're engaging throughout the whole, both of the legs. So go ahead and flex the feet here, and we're going to bring tension into the calves. You can see my toes are starting to curl back into the areas around the knees. So you should be feeling engagement in the muscles around the knees, into the thighs. Go ahead and squeeze here. Only the legs should be flexed. So bring all tension into that area of the body. Squeeze, tense, 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 squeeze, and release. Fully let it go. Nice work. And then just notice sensations. Notice your breath. Check in. Make any adjustments. And we'll move on from here. So the next one is about core engagement. It's about the solar plexus. It involves the rib cage. It involves the back. So the whole center of the body here. It doesn't involve the legs. It doesn't involve the arms. It doesn't involve the neck and face. All right, and the head. So that's where your work is to really focus in on squeezing only the parts of the body that are being cued in this movement. So go ahead and find the abdominal muscles with the belly button coming in towards the spine. Find the caving of the chest a little bit here as you bring that tension all the way up, knitting the abdominal core, right? Up into the rib cage. Naturally, you start to cave a little bit here so that the solar plexus is involved. Squeezing in at the rib cage if you can. Okay, really bringing tension all the way through the midline of the body and sitting with that tension. I'll cue you here. Tense, 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 and release. Let it go. Just really let it go. And breathe. And notice any sensations here. Maybe you got in touch with some things that you weren't quite sure how you could get in touch with. Noticing that. All right, and from here, we're going to do some work with the hands and the forearms and the biceps and the shoulders a little bit. So go ahead and bring your hands with your palms facing out, all right? Make any movements here to get ready. So we're gonna bring tension into the hands here. Everything else is gonna be relaxed into the hands, into the arms, biceps. So curl the fingers in, wrap the thumb around, make the fist. Then start to have your fist start to curve inward a little bit so that you're bringing tension into the forearms. Then that tension moves up into the biceps. Bring the elbows into the body and squeeze everything in the arms. Everything else is relaxed. So check in with the other areas of the body, make sure everything else is relaxed. All the tension here is only in the arms. Squeeze, tense, 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 and release. Let it go. Good. Checking in, breathing, smoothing out the breath, and noticing any sensations. Lastly, our work is to bring tension into the face. Okay, so we're going to make funny faces. We're going to furrow the brow, clench the jaw, scrunch up. And many of us hold tension in the face and in the jaw without even realizing it. So we're going to actively do that and then actively release. And then I'll have a couple more cues for you to continue the process of releasing and letting go. All right, taking a breath here. Then we'll get started with the face. So go ahead and clench the jaw, furrow the brow, scrunch up the nose, squeeze everything into the face. Bring all tension into the face here in all the ways that you can figure out how to do that. Tense, 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 and release, let it go. Go ahead and start to use the fingertips from the center of the third eye or the center of the forehead, wiping the hands gently coming down the face. So any last bits of tension are coming off the face, out of the mind, and then kind of like bringing it out of the body, so letting it go. So you make kind of that letting go motion with the hands. Breathing here. A couple more times. And then we're going to bring the hands to touch. And we're going to start to generate some heat here. Bringing some heat to the hands, rubbing them back and forth. making that friction, create that heat here, and then we're gonna place the palms over the eyes with the eyes closed. Go ahead and do that as you're ready. And breathe here. Checking in with that intention. Checking in with the breath. Noticing any sensations from practice that you'd like to have stick with you throughout the rest of today and beyond. Sending gratitude. And then we'll take some breaths together to close the practice. So we'll take 3 breaths here. So on the inhale, we'll raise the arms. We'll inhale through the nose. And on the exhale, we'll do lion's breath through the mouth. We'll do 3 breaths. The inhale is going to bring and seal in all the goodness. And the exhale is to release anything we don't need, any tension here. So inhale and exhale. Let it go, lion's breath. Inhale through the nose. Gather up all the goodness. And exhale, lion's breath. Let it go. Last time here. Inhale, gather it up. Hands come to touch. Hands come to heart center. Seal it all in. And we say namaste. The light in me honors and identifies and acknowledges the light in you. Thank you so much for being here today for this practice. I appreciate each and every one of you. Namaste. It is my pleasure, it is my honor, and it is my gratitude. Thank you. If y'all have any questions, I'm about to come up. That's why I'm about to put this mask on. And thank you.
Thanks so much, Marianne.
You can unmute if you have any questions. Or any feedback. My favorite part, I'm going to say my favorite part, and then maybe somebody will say their favorite part. I think my favorite is the tense, tense, tense on my arms. I think that's where I felt it the most.
Thank you. Great class. I agree with the tension and letting it go. Great.
That's really
Thank you.
good.
Thank you.
Very much. I thought it was all great.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Enjoyed opening the hip flexors.
Thank you, Marianne.
Appreciate your time.
Y'all take care.
See you in 2 weeks? Maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, next week is Kat, and then the week after that is Marianne.
Okie dokie. Bye for now.
Bye. Oops, I forgot to stop the recording before that. I'll have to remember to clip that on.